Very good morning, dear students. How are you all? I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, I am Vaibhav Shah and we are discussing chapter number 2 of subject economics, that is fundamental concepts and terminology, and this is our lecture number 10. In previous sessions, we discussed about the factors of production, its meaning and its types, and lastly we discuss about in detail land, labor and capital, and today we are going to discuss about the entrepreneur, which is the fourth and last factor of production, and then we will move forward to last topic of this particular chapter, that is trade cycle. Before that, I want to convey a message that you have to write all the questions in your fair book. Worksheet will be provided by us and you have to write that in a particular time period and then submit it to your class teacher. Done. Now let us start discussing. Fourth point is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is the factor which brings together, that coordinates all other factors of production for the production process, or we can say for an economic activity. There is a difference between management and coordination. Management of work is done by a manager who is a salaried laborer, that is employee of the entrepreneur, and entrepreneur is the person who sets up the enterprise. Might be this word is new to you, that is what is entrepreneur. So basically entrepreneur is a person who is having a dream to start their own business. Then he accumulate all the necessary information that will helpful in starting their business. Once he receives all the information, then he analyzes, interprets and formulates a policy regarding a business. Then he accumulates all the necessary resources, tools, equipments, materials, labor, etc. to start a business. And then with his risk-taking ability, he start a business. Whether the business is small or large, it is dependent on the ingenuity of the entrepreneur itself, that how he manage all the things and how he prepare himself to start a business or to develop a business. So basically entrepreneur is a person who is a risk taker and who set up all the economic activities for the benefit of their own and for the society itself. Now let us start discussing about entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is the factor, it means he is the person which brings together, that is coordinates all other factors of production like land, labor and capital of production for the production process, that is for an economic activity. So it may happen a person dream about starting a business. Say for example, he willing to start a business of manufacturing. Then he will take a land from one person, either by purchasing it or on a rent. Then he will ask for a labor to another person and then brings the capital from yet another person. By coordinating and accumulating all these resources to one place and using his skill and intelligence, he start a business of a manufacturing. So here we can say the entrepreneur is a factor which brings together, that means he coordinates, either it is comes from a one person or more than one person, all other factors of production for the production process, which is called economic activity, where we are doing a business for the purpose of getting something in a return. Next one is, there is a difference between management and coordination. See, basically we are using these words interchangeably in place of one another, but there is a big difference between management and coordination, because here the entrepreneur himself indulge into the activities of a coordination, and whatever the outcome of the business, whether it is profit or loss, it is borne by the entrepreneur himself. While the management is a thing where we have to manage all the things which are already acquired or accumulated. It means here we have to just manage the things, we have to just plan for the activities and nothing else. So, there is a difference between management and coordination. Management of work is done by a manager who is a salaried laborer, that is employee of the entrepreneur. So here we can see clearly the difference between management and coordination, because the coordination is done by a entrepreneur who is a person who manages or who coordinates all the things, while management is done by a manager who is a salaried employee, or we can say the laborer of the entrepreneur, who work according to the direction given by the employee. So basically coordination and management is dependent on entrepreneur itself, but as we can see that we are hiring a manager for managing the business, then our duty is to coordinate all the activities in a properly manner, so that the manager can manage all the activities and the business will successfully run. So here we discuss about the management and the coordination's difference. Then entrepreneur is the person who sets up the enterprise. Please line this last statement. Here they have clearly mentioned that entrepreneur is the person who sets up the enterprise. It means who accumulate all the necessary information and resources for the starting up of the business, and is the risk taking authority. Now let us move towards the second paragraph, that is entrepreneur is the risk taker who takes the risk of setting up an activity. This factor does not get fixed return but tries to generate income by running the economic activity successfully. She or he may incur a loss if the activity does not function well. So as we discussed earlier in the last paragraph also, that he might be having a chances of profit as well as loss. Basically this entrepreneur word is also called or pronounced as an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is the risk taker who takes the risk of setting up an activity, because initially when we are starting a business or any economic activity, we doesn't know whether it will be successful or not. We never ever knows whether the product offered by the entrepreneur will be accepted by the customer, there will be higher demand or not. So basically it is a highest risk taking activity, and as we all knows that we are expecting something return, so it is economic activity as well. So entrepreneur is the risk taker who takes the risk of setting up an activity. It means whether he is earning or not, he will try to produce something or will try to build his own business premises. This factor does not get fixed return, as we see that in employment also we are getting a fixed salary, in profession also we are getting a fees, but here the entrepreneur is not one who is getting the fixed return but tries to generate income by running the economic activity successfully, because whatever the factor of production other than entrepreneur is earning will be paid by the entrepreneur himself out of his total capital or out of his total income or from his profit. He distributes or he gives rent to the landowners, wages to the laborers, and interest to the capital owners. So it tries to generate income by running the economic activity successfully. where they are earning a proper return. She may incur a loss. It means the profit is not fixed at all. So she may incur a loss if the activity does not function well. Because if the activity will not be as per the planning, then they will have to suffer a loss also. Now let us discuss the characteristics of enterprise. So the characteristics of entrepreneur or enterprise can be stated as: first one, this factor is the decision maker of the activity, whether to start or not. If starts, then at which scale, whether it is a small scale, medium scale, or larger scale, or which kind of activities to be undertaken. Each and every decision is taken by the entrepreneur himself or herself. That's why this factor is the decision maker amongst all the four factors of production. Second one is, this factor is known as the risk taking factor. As we discussed earlier in this topic, that whether to earn a profit or to incur a loss is not decided by his activity. Sometimes it may happen that they incur a loss if the activities are not smoothly running as per the planning. So, this factor is known as the risk taking, because along with that there are many unseen risks are also associated with the business, and risk and uncertainty is also one of the element that is associated with business, which is borne by the entrepreneur himself or herself. Third, it possesses the quality of coordination. As we discussed in previous topics or in previous paragraphs also, that he coordinates land, labor and capital from different persons, and by coordinating it, he is running smoothly his business. In other words, entrepreneurship is a quality where he will be having all the qualities of leaders, managers, successful businessmen, and a person. That's why he is having a quality of a coordination. And the last but not least is the remuneration of this factor is called profit. As the remuneration of land is called rent, the remuneration of labor is called wages, the remuneration of capital is called interest. Same way the remuneration of the entrepreneur is called profit, and it is available to an entrepreneur, and he has to distribute all this profit amongst the other factors of production. So here with this topic we are concluding the topic, that is the factors of production, and now let us move towards the last point of this particular chapter, that is trade cycle. Economic activities go through phases of dynamic changes, like human life goes through changes. Such changes are basically of four types: irregular changes, seasonal changes, long run regular trend, and long run dynamic changes, which are cyclical in nature. First of all, this topic, that is trade cycle, is new to all of you because it is related with business. I think you haven't heard this word before this chapter or this topic starts. Basically, in any of the business, there are possibilities of the different seasons or trends or issues. Like if we are means in a practical life, if we are seeing that all the business or all the activities are not running in a same manner, sometimes business will incur a loss while sometimes it will earn a huge profit. So it may happen that in all the business activities there is a periods or a time intervals of different type of slack season, that is the season of the recession and depression, and boom season, that is the season of the prosperity or recovery will be there. In many of the business activities, the time period for this slack season or the prosperity season is not fixed, because it is based on the industry nature or the industrial activities itself. So in all the business, it is not the same type or the same time which is go through over it. It means there are some of the time where the economic activities are at its peaks. It means there will be the highest level of economic activities are there and people earning a huge earning or a profit. While some of the time period where these economic activities are not enough and they will have to suffer a loss or setback of a profit, etc. So the time interval of these four phases, basically whatever here given is the changes in the business, but due to these changes there are four possibilities in a business. That is, first one is a boom, that is the highest level of economy activity, or we can say prosperity. Then recession, it means the economic activities will slow down. Depression, zero level of economic activity, where no economic activity, no income generation, no demand for products and services, etc., etc. And lastly, after some times it will result into recovery, and again it is boom, recession, depression and recovery. Boom, recession, depression and recovery. And so this way the cycle is going on. That's why it is called trade cycle. So the economic activities go through phases of dynamic changes. As we discussed that, it goes through the different time intervals of recession and prosperity and depression. Like a human life goes through changes, same as our life is also not similar or same time in older days, because we have to face so many challenges and difficulties of life. And that's why in business also we are facing this kind of difficulties and challenges whenever we are running a business. So such changes are basically of four types. So here first of all they categorize all these changes according to the business situation. First one is irregular changes, second one is seasonal changes, third one is long run regular trend, and fourth one is long run dynamic changes, which are cyclical in nature. It means it happens again and again, or it recurs, and that's why it creates a cycle, and that cycle is called a trade cycle. We'll discuss the meaning of a trade cycle and definition of a trade cycle in next lecture, but today we'll try to complete all these four types of changes or categories of the trade cycle. In that, first one is irregular changes. These are accidental changes which occur in an economic activity. Example: floods, famines, storms, fire, and so on. Such accidents impact an economic activity in the short run and sometimes in the long run. So first of all, irregular changes means what? These type of changes are not predicted at all. Like in our life also, we never predicted that this kind of pandemic will happen and we have to sit at home and will to study through these online lectures instead of physical classroom. Same way in business, there are some of the situations that occur that is not at all predictable and that will be affecting a business very badly. So this type of changes are basically of accidental. It means these are accidental changes which occur in an economic activity. It means whenever we are doing any kind of economic activity, we are facing or experiencing this type of changes. For example, floods, famines, storms, fire, these are the natural calamities. In very chapter first of the organization of commerce and management, there are different risks that are associated with the business are of two types, that is man-made risk and natural risk. So here this type of risk, these floods, the floods are not happened frequently. They are happened in some time or after so many years. Same way famines, storms, fire, all these kind of natural calamities and natural disaster are called the accidental changes, and these are irregular. It means they are not occurring after a fixed time interval or a fixed time period, but they whenever they happens, the business will suffer a lot, because sometimes the production may stop altogether, sometimes we are not able to sell the products, and so many things happens. Such accidents impact an economic activity in the short run and sometimes in the long run. Say, for example, if floods happen, then all the factory premises and building will be ruined. It means they are destroyed at all and damaged. So we cannot start our economic activity within a short period of time, and it will take sometimes 1 year or more than 1 year to rebuild the organization. So this way it will affect a very long time period. But if storm happens, then after a particular time period, like within 2, 3 or 4 days, we can start our economic activity. So by this way we can say that such accidents impact an economic activity in the short run and sometimes in the long run. Along with this, there are some of the other factors, that is technological changes, change in demand, etc. are also happens in the organization, and that will also affect the business activities either in a short run or in a long run. Let us move towards the next paragraph, that is, these changes may generally occur and or have their impact in some sectors or some regions of an economy only. For example, only in the agricultural sector or only in the industrial sector. So here we can say that irregular changes may generally occur and or have their impact in some sectors. It means not in all sectors uniformly, but in some of the sectors of the economy or some regions. Likewise, the pandemic that hits the whole world, but if sometime floods or famines is happen, then it is related to or it is affected to particular region only. So their impact is also up to that particular region only. So we can say that this type of changes or their impact in either some sector where it is affected or to some regions where it is heated of an economy only. For example, only in the agriculture sector or only in the industrial sector, if floods and famines happens, then it will affect mostly the agricultural sector than industrial sector, while the man-made calamities or man-made risk, that is change in technology, change in demand, etc. affects the industrial sector very hardly. So it may happen that this kind of changes will not affect all the sectors uniformly. Second point is seasonal changes. These changes regularly occur in economic activities with changing season. So it may happen that whenever there is a change in the season, this type of business risk, or we can say the trade cycle factor, will be affecting the business. For instance, demand for certain goods changes by seasons, and accordingly production and employment may change. So here seasonal changes are of a regular nature, or we can say it may affect the business activity after some particular time period. These changes regularly occur in economic activities. First of all, line this particular statement with changing season. It means if there will be two type of season. First one is a off season and second one is a season, not like a on season. It is either off season or a season. So in off season, the demand for this kind of particular goods are not there, but while in a season it is very highly demanded. Say for example, kites. Kites in a kite festival or nearest to kite festival, like from the ending of the December or from the starting of the December, the demand of a kite is slowly increasing. And when the kite festival is very near, or on the day of kite festival, its demand is very high. But after the completion or after the ending of this season, there is no demand for a kite altogether up to the next year. So it may happens that this type of demands is occurring only in a seasonal time period. Say for example, the demand for umbrella and raincoat is in monsoon season only. The demand for woolen clothes is in winter season only. So after that, when that season, particular season is over, or we can say the off season is there is no demand of all type of goods, and such changes also affect the business. For instance, demand for certain goods changes by seasons. It means in seasons their demand is higher, while in off season their demand is lower, and accordingly production and employment may change. Basically, the type of activities which are running, or we can say the business activities, are of a regular nature, whether the demand is in season or not in a season. But it may happens that in some of the particular industries, they are employing a person for that particular season only, and after that they have no work to do. And that's why this type of seasonal changes is affecting the production and employment also. It means the person will get either employment or become unemployed in off season, or getting employment in a season. So this is the second point after the irregular changes, that is seasonal changes. Both of these changes are irregular changes are of a short term or long term, while seasonal changes are for the short term only. Next one is a long run regular changes. Some changes occur in a given direction in the form of a trend. These are directional changes which occur in an activity. For example, some regular sales trends. Now, long run regular changes means what? Once any of the trend is running on a business activity, it will change after some period of time, but that time period is very long. Some changes occur in a given direction in the form of a trend. Likewise, whenever any of the business activities happening in the market, then stock market will retaliate on it. It means there is a highest reaction from the stock market itself. If some kind of trend like inflationary trend is there, likewise today we are seeing that due to this pandemic the pharma companies are running on a very high rate, or their success ratio is higher, because till the day we are not able to find the vaccine of this pandemic, and that's why each and every pharma company is having the equal opportunity to run or to growth of their business activities. But same time the other sectors are suffering a loss. These pharma companies will be beneficial up to the first one or the initiator who will discover the vaccine for this pandemic. Once this vaccine will be discovered by a single company, then this will be the benefits to that company only, and other will have to either copy him or to get a patent of that particular vaccination. So this type of regular changes are occurring after some fixed time period, because epidemics and pandemics are regular type of a life. So whenever new kind of disease are occurring, then this type of trend will be there. Or in some of the seasons, like in the season of monsoon, we are having a cold and different types of water based disease. So the pharma company will be beneficial over here. I hope you are understanding that these are the long run regular changes that may occur after a regular time interval, but it affects for a longer period of time. Some changes occur in a given direction in the form of a trend. It means they are creating a trend. These are directional changes which occur in an activity. It means they are giving a direction to the business activity. Either the business activity will the highest peak, that is the highest level of business activities are there, or there is a very slack in that particular activity. For example, some regular sales trend. Now fourth and last one is the cyclical changes. Dynamic fluctuations arising in an economy over its long run growth, leading to rise, that is upward swing in growth of economic activities, and fall, that is downward swing, are called trade cycles. The rise and fall in economic activity is cyclical in nature. This is the basic meaning of cyclical changes, or we can say the trade cycle, that is dynamic fluctuations arising in an economy over its long run growth. It means in all the economic or in all the economy there is a chances of this prosperity, recovery, depression, recession is there. So these are the dynamic fluctuations. That means if the business is in its peak position, then there will be highest level of boom or prosperity. But if it is losing its grip, or we can say slowly it results into recession, and finally it results into depression. So this dynamic fluctuations arising in economy over its long run growth, leading to rise, that is upward swing in growth of economic activities, that is we called boom or prosperity, and fall, that is downward swing, are called trade cycles. So basically this topic is the main crux of this particular topic, and we'll discuss it in detail. The rise and fall in economic activity is cyclical in nature. It means it happens again and again, and it's create a cycle that after every boom there will be the recession and depression, and after every depression there will be the recovery and boom is there. Such changes occur in economic activities, and growth process of economic also goes through these changes, and the study of this dynamic changes called trade cycle is very important in economics. We'll discuss this particular topic in next lecture also, and we'll start from this particular topic and we'll conclude the session on this particular topic, so that this chapter will be ended on next lecture. Thank you very much, class.